Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you guys. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, can you confirm that's the largest comeback in Navy football history?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I thought Temple.
Temple was 20. This was 24.
Okay.
Let me allow recording here for people. Phil, you should be able to record. Wags, you can record.
All right, thanks.
Anyone else need to record? Johnny, you can record if you need to.
Yep.
Mike James, you can record.
Scott, can you turn Graham's on?
Graham Knight,
Yes, sir.
you can record. All right, I think everyone can record. Is everyone good? Yeah, Wags, Temple was 20 points in the second. So it's biggest in the second half for sure. We don't have first half, but Temple, we were down 20 in the fourth quarter, but second half, this we were down 24. So this is the biggest comeback in school history.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I've got Coach Nehemiah here. We'll open up. Coach will give an opening statement. Yeah, I know there's feedback. I'll walk away with my phone once we get started. It'll be fine. But I have to do half of it on my phone, so we'll be fine. All right, we're ready for Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Whew. Well, we've had a lot of great wins over the years here, but I don't know if any of them are greater than that win. Just a great testament to our players, their fortitude, their character. Coach O'Rourke said something in our team meeting, which I thought is very, very, very true. He said adversity, either, I don't remember how he said it, but just either brings out your character or illuminates it. And our character came out, the players. That first half looked like the third half of the BYU game. I'm like, oh crap. We couldn't stop them and we couldn't move the ball an inch. I mean, it was as bad of, well, like I said, it looked like a continuation of the BYU game, just the third half. And I thought, to me, the play of the game was Cam's pick. I thought Cam's pick, Cameron Kelly's pick at the end of the half, just gave us some life. I mean, we could have went down 31-0, but I think that pick just kind of gave us some life. Obviously, Dalen, what a tremendous young man. He earned a spot. I benched him. He was down, and Coach Jasper and I talked to him, but he's a great kid. He could easily went in the tank, but he continued to do the best he could to practice and do all that he could. Offensively, he brought us back, just with his passes, just running our offense. Our defense came alive in the second half. And, they were running the ball, really well in the first half, and then they couldn't run in the second half. But I don't know. I don't have much to say other than, wow, just a testament to the young man at the United States Naval Academy. A lot of things people talk about our country. These guys are going to protect us and serve our country. And these are the type of young men that you have that will not quit. We will not quit. I mean, our guys are not going to quit. That's our character. And we weren't going anywhere. And so just really, really excited for that.
Mike James. Go ahead, Mike.
You guys can come sit down. Just chill out. Just chill out on the turf. Just relax a little bit. Sit down. Or bench, seats, yeah, whatever you want to do. Come on.
Mike James, you have a question?
I think that we can move them if you need to. Spread out. Guys can spread out.
I don't know if Mike can hear you, Ross.
Go ahead, Wags.
All right, well, Coach, what did you say to the team at halftime? And why do you think all of a sudden they started playing it was much more physical, much more pad ready. In the first half, it looked like BYU as far as the physicality and pad ready. And then all of a sudden, it was like somebody completely flipped the switch, and it looked like Navy football again.
I didn't say anything. That's our kids. This type of young men we have on our team. We're not going to quit. We're not quitters. We're fighters. Yes, that first half did look like a continuation of the BYU game, but like I said, I thought Cam's pick gave us some life. Dalen came in and gave us some life offensively. We stopped the run on defense, but our kids just kept battling. I don't know any other thing to say, Wags, that we got tough kids, man. And I say that every year. You come to school here, you go through so much crap. There's a lot of stuff. Sorry, I shouldn't have said crap, but you go through a lot of things here at the Naval Academy. That makes it hard. Going to school's tough. The military's tough. D1 ball's tough. Naps was hard. Just so many different things. But the end product of it are some tough dudes, man. I think, Wags, the only way you get that is all the things that you go through here. I mean, it wasn't no speech. There was no rah-rah speech at halftime. It's just our kids, man. It's just their character. They're like, they weren't going to quit. And that was plain as that was.
Dalen made some phenomenal throws. I mean, was really on target. I thought the passing game opened up the running game, which is different from you. It's usually the other way around. Can you talk about what his passing did to help you turn things around offensively?
Well, it definitely sparked us. And also from the standpoint, he didn't get much reps this week. We gave Xavier most of the reps just from the standpoint of, he was a young guy. And I told Coach Jasper we need to give him all the reps because, we don't know what he can do. And so not only did he play well, he played well on very minimal reps, this week. And I told him, he and I had a talk, and he's over here sitting there, but I told him that, I wasn't sure. I didn't like the way he responded in the first game. He was like, Coach, my first start. He gave me a chance. And he's probably right. And I said, you probably have argument there, but I just was going to try Xavier. But to this kid's credit, man, he came to practice every day and just tried to hang in there best he could and came off and led us to the greatest comeback in Navy football history.
Dalen's the starter now, right?
Wags, why do you even have to ask that?
I'm sorry.
You always got a negative.
Disregard that question.
Mike James, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thanks.
What would you do after that game, Wags? Jeez.
So, Coach, all things considered, is this one of the most satisfying wins of your career?
To me, I don't know a better one. I mean, this just to where we were at. Like I said, that first half looked just like the BYU game. We couldn't get a first down. We couldn't stop. I mean, it was as bad as the BYU game. And like I said, I'm just speechless, man. These guys. I don't know why I should be surprised by them because they do that all the time. I mean, these guys go through so much stuff here at the academy, and they're still here. So I know if you're still here, Mike, you're a tough dude. And so it was amazing.
When you mentioned that Xavier was getting most of the reps this week, the offense looked a little bit different when you came out of the game. Was that designed specifically for Xavier?
Yeah, there's a lot of gun stuff. That's what we did in high school. So we did that, and, we kind of got out of rhythm there a little bit. But, yeah, that's why we did it. It's kind of some of the stuff we did in Army, against Army.
Phil Bergman.
Hey, Coach, the defense today, Cam Kinley with a nice interception, that safety. I know you've called Coach Newberry a mad genius in the past, but what did you see out of that defense today?
Just their fight, man. I just was so proud of the way those guys, that second half, like you guys said, looked like Navy football. The first half looked like the BYU game, and that second half, that looked like us. And so, like I said, the defense played great. Offense did some really good things. We kicked the ball well. Dan kicked some, pinned them deep, which really helped us. That punt gave us a chance to get the safety, so it was a huge kick by Davies. And obviously Bijan's kick at the end. You can do that. We do that weekly. It's called fast field goal. It's a little different doing that Rip Miller field where there's nobody around and you're running out there and 10, 9, But to do that, I guarantee you Tulane does not want to see Bijan anymore. I mean, he's twice, he's got after those guys. They'll have nightmares of Bijan Nichols.
And Carruthers really stepped up today. What did you see from him? He seemed to literally take the team on his back out there.
Yeah, he had some nice runs. Dalen made some nice reads. We got the fullback going. And for us, it's really a simple game. We stopped the run on defense, and we were able to run the ball on offense. This isn't rocket science. And when we can do that, we're a pretty good football team. When we have a hard time stopping the run and we can't run the ball, it makes it tough. But the way we opened it up was with Jamel and Dalen throwing the ball, which opened up lanes for our running game.
Thank you.
Anything else?
We got the players up.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you,
You got
guys.
Dalen Moore's up next. Nope, actually, Diego Fago is going next. Brian, go ahead and start it off with Diego.
I will. Diego, the defense completely turned it around in the second half. Just what happened? I mean, you looked a lot like you did against BYU in the first half, having trouble getting off blocks, and then all of a sudden you turned back into the aggressive, attacking Navy defense.
Yeah, just like Coach Ken said, there was no special formula. There was no halftime speech that really sparked it. It was really just, my brothers rising up with something. There was something that rose up within them and just, taking it one play at a time. They did their job. That's basically what happened. We kept telling each other, hey, 0-0, do your job. And we just kept emphasizing that, and it worked out in our favor.
Can you talk about some of the big plays? I mean, you had fourth down stops, Cameron Kinley pick, safety. There's just so many plays. You made plays when you needed to make plays.
Yeah, and that's all attributed to Coach Newberry. He had some very good things drawn up for us schematically, and we just did our job. We executed what he asked us to do.
Last for me, just can you talk about what this does for the team's psyche? I mean, you're down after that loss to BYU, and that's hard to, like you said, bad taste in the mouth. And now this uplifting victory, it's just the whole season has a completely different light now, doesn't it, Diego?
It absolutely does. It gave us that confidence on the sideline when we stopped them. I think we had like 3 or 4 3-and-outs in a row. It just felt like the 2019 defense in a way. We kind of got our mojo back, and we definitely are a 2020 defense, but it just feels different. Like I said, it just kind of gave us our confidence and our mojo a little bit.
Any other questions for Diego?
Hey, Graham's got one.
Go ahead, Graham.
Hey, Diego, talk to me a little bit about the weather. It's almost like add water and you guys came to life. I know there was some drizzle kind of early on, but it started to rain pretty hard, and all of a sudden your game came to life. How much of a factor was the weather?
Yeah, I told the linebackers before the game, I said, hey, regardless of what happens with the weather, just embrace it. And we do things called fourth quarters every spring before spring ball. And we do those at 5:30 in the morning in February. So you can imagine how cold it is and how much snow there is. I mean, one time we went out there, it was sleeting. And so if I'm going to be completely honest, weather wasn't much of a factor. And we honestly embrace it more. When it starts raining, that's when we start doing better, because teams are going to have to run the ball, whereas that's where we make our living. We make our living on the ground. So it doesn't hurt us that much. If anything, it helps us.
Yeah, so I noticed. Hey, one last kind of follow-up. How much did the hurry-up offense affect you early on in the game? Tulane came out with kind of those quick starts from the line. They seemed to slow down a little bit later in the game. Was that much of a factor?
Yeah, Graham, we were really expecting that. I mean, last year's game, they got us late in the third quarter, even in the fourth quarter, with hurry-up offense. So we were really practicing that during the week leading up to the game. And like I was saying, my teammates and my brothers, they just kept doing their job. They just kept doing their job, play in and play out. And yeah, they had a few big plays there in the first half, and they were up, but we responded.
Yes, you did. Well played.
Phil Bergman.
Yeah, Diego, you guys said that there wasn't talk at halftime, but just in your mind, what were you thinking to yourself going in from that first half, heading back out of the tunnel into that second half?
Like I was saying, just do your job. Every single play in, play out. Just do my job. Whatever my job is, I'm not going to do Jackson Perkins' job. I'm not going to go do Thomas' job. I'm going to do Diego Fago's job every single play. And so that was kind of my mindset.
Lastly, just walk us through the safety, what you see out there, and you guys seem to read that play perfectly.
Yeah, so the guard that was right in front of me, he was really light on his hands, and we were kind of expecting a belly play there. And when I saw that, I was able to tell the rest of the guys, hey, light hands, and it ended up being that belly play like we expected, and we strung it out to the field, and everyone was able to rally around the ball because everyone was doing their job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Anyone else for Diego? All right, thanks, Diego.
Thanks, guys.
Dalen Morris is up next, and then we've got Bijan Nichols to finish it off. So, Wags, you want to go ahead with Dalen first?
Yes. Dalen, first of all, I mean, obviously, what an amazing turn of events there. I mean, you're benched to start the game. You come off the bench and lead Navy to the greatest comeback in program history. I mean, what can you say?
First and foremost, we got to thank God. I wouldn't have the ability to do anything without him. And then my brothers, what a game. I mean, that was exciting to be a part of. I'm sure it's exciting to watch, but that felt good.
I mean, obviously, you showed a really tough mental mindset by not allowing, being replaced as the starter to bother you. And when you were called upon, you did the job. I mean, this has got to be very uplifting for you personally.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely got to give a big shout out to my parents. They're always in my ear, especially my father. He's always in my ear, texting me every day, keep the faith, stay patient. And today I was able to get my opportunity and made the most of it.
And did you feel, it looked like you looked a lot more comfortable running the offense? You just settled in, I think, maybe connecting on a couple throws, calmed you down. I mean, what would you say there?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely having, being in that second game, knowing that, this is your shot. I think I just played looser. I think I was trying to be really perfect in that first game, first start, prime time. So, you don't want to make a lot of mistakes. But I just played loose, got back to being myself on the football field.
Any other questions? James, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. Dalen, Mike James from Rivals. Was there a point where you felt like maybe the game kind of slowed down for you a little bit? You come in the second, you connect on a couple of throws. Was there a point where you felt like, yeah, now you're kind of getting into a rhythm a little bit?
Oh, for sure. You can connect on a couple passes in a row. Yeah, things start to slow down for you, start to get in the rhythm. And once you get in the rhythm, you're playing Pop Warner football again. You're just out there with the boys, fighting.
Did we lose them? Can you guys still hear us?
I can hear you, Ross. We didn't hear the end of Dalen's comment there.
Okay, Dalen, go ahead and repeat that.
Sheesh. I just said definitely getting in the rhythm, completing a couple passes definitely helps. Once you get in the rhythm, it's just like you're playing backyard football with the boys back home again.
Phil Bergman.
Dalen, I'm sure it's been a wild 24 hours, but it's even been a wilder 5 hours. What has this past 5-6 hours been like for you?
A roller coaster. Coach Jasper told me to stay ready going into the game, and I got my opportunity come the second quarter. And we struggled a little bit, but I completed that pass to Mark on the sideline, and that gave me a little bit more confidence going into the second half. And then being down 24 doesn't help a lot, but just playing the game. It's just football. So it's definitely been a while, 25 hours, but it's definitely a good feeling right now.
What does a win like this do to the psyche of a team moving forward?
Losing like we did in the first game and then having a comeback like we did this game is gonna completely change our mindset. You know, we have the confidence now that we know we can do it. We're gonna face adversity in every game this year, but we know that it takes a lot to knock us out.
Thank you.
Anything else for Dalen? All right, thanks, Dalen.
Yeah, have a blessed evening.
All right, and finally, got Mr. Nichols. Job, Dalen.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Bijan,
Wack.
it's Bill Wagner from the Baltimore Sun. Could you script it any better? Beating Tulane again with another late field goal?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I was thinking about the game last year, and I don't think you can predict those type of things or know they're coming. I remember it happened, and I remember what it felt like. It was a great feeling, but you can't just plan that or call that out.
It was a bit of a fire drill there at the end. Navy didn't have timeouts, and the seconds were ticking down. I mean, can you talk about that? I mean, like Coach Niemot said, it's one thing to do that in practice at Rip Miller Field to work on the scramble fire drill, but it's a whole nother thing to do it in a game where the game's on the line.
Right. Obviously, when you don't have a lot of time, it's not ideal, but you're still going to kick the same football. It's just a football. You're just kicking it. You really just got to make the game time play under whatever circumstances.
Did you tell the coaches you wanted it on the left hash? Because originally they ran Jamel over to the right, and then all of a sudden they changed and ran a couple plays to the left to get it to the left. Is that where you prefer to kick from?
I didn't have last year before the Tulane game. Actually, Coach asked me during practice earlier in the week if I wanted right or left. I said I kind of favored left a little bit, but this game and this week leading up, I hadn't said anything about it. It never came up. If it's from the right, I'd like to think that I'm making it just the same. Like I said, it's still just a kick. Wherever it's spotted, you still need to make it.
Anyone else with a question?
Hey, Graham's got a quick one from behind the lines.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Graham.
real quick, talk to me a little bit about the contrast for the 57-yard attempt earlier in the game compared to the game winner. What were you thinking after that first attempt? And then
Right. So when I lined up to kick that 57, everything about the wind told me that it was just at my back, going pretty straight. So I just aimed right down the middle. And coming off my foot, I felt really good about it. It looked like it was going into me. And then I saw the flags kind of shoot with a left to right wind, ball pushed over to the right. It happens. It's a long kick. It's a makeable kick for me. I truly believe that I could have made that, should have made it. I didn't. That doesn't have any effect on any future kicks. They're independent events. I control everything that happens in the future, and that's how I approached it.
Yeah, no, did it teach you anything for how to kick the ball at the end of the game? Did it give you a sense of the weather, or was it a completely different situation?
So the 57, I was going with the wind, and it was kind of left to right. But at the end, it was kind of in my face and right to left. But I don't know how long the one at the end was, but it wasn't as long as 57. So the ball didn't have as much time to get hit up by the wind and change its flight too much. So I was aiming right down the middle for that one too. And I don't know exactly where it went in between the uprights, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Well played. I think it was 41 yards or something like that.
Phil Bergman.
Yeah, Bijan, just walk us through that final kick, and just as a kicker, what's that moment like to have a game-winning kick in that scenario?
I think that's the most fun you can have as a kicker in football. Obviously, I'd rather beat every team by 50 points, but it's really nice to be able to contribute at the end like that, and I like the pressure on me. I saw we had our drive going down, and there limited time on the clock. obviously I would want us to score first, but we didn't. I was in range though, and I was trying to keep people away from me on the sidelines because people were coming up saying things, and in that situation, I just kind of want to focus and think about what I need to go do, not necessarily what other people are saying. But it's all in good faith, and they're trying to help me out. But I just like to be by myself and just go through my routine and get it done.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.